Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, March 10th. It is Driven Fitness Erica here, your friendly and fabulous personal trainer and health and wellness expert. How are you doing today? It is cold in northern Nevada. We have like just a little dusting of snow on the houses, just on the roofs. It's so pretty. I was hoping for a little bit more. We need a little bit more for our snowpack here. I heard it's raining in Southern California, which is nice. We need that water too, right? Down in SoCal. So good morning. I am Driven Fitness Erica. That's not my real name, but most people know me as that, Erica Resilius. I own and operate Driven Fitness, now based in studio here in Northern Nevada in Gardnerville. But I do online training, fitness classes, and semi-private training via Zoom across the nation. So welcome. If you've never tuned into my Facebook Lives before, I'm here every Wednesday almost around 7:30-ish talking about all things health and wellness. Try to make them 15 minutes or less, getting it in, getting it out, and then teaching you some just little nuggets to think about, take with you through the rest of the day. So today we're going to talk about habits. How long does it really take to create a habit? I was listening to a podcast recently and they were talking about habits and that it really doesn't take only 21 days to create a habit. No, it takes a lot longer for most people. So where did this 21-day habit thing come from? Well, I did a little research. So for those of you who follow me a lot, you know I love the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and just James Clear in general. He talks about, studies habit building a lot and how to create really great habits that will last your lifetime. And Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books. So he has done a lot of articles about healthy habits and how long it takes to create a habit, or unhealthy, actually. It doesn't have to be healthy. How long does it really take to create a habit? And he talked about, in one of his articles, the history of the 21-day habit, that idea. And it turns out there was this plastic surgeon way back in the 50s who just happened to notice anecdotally that it took about 21 days for his clients to get used to their new appearance after he did work on them. He also was noticing that things with like amputees or people who then use prosthetics, if they had something amputated, it took about 21 days for them to get used to their new bodies. And so he wrote a paper, I think in the 60s it might have been, that talked about this 21 days and how he thinks that it took a minimum of 21 days for people to become accustomed to their new looks, accustomed to their new bodies. And then he also noted that with himself, it took about 21 days for him to adopt new habits. Well, fast forward through time, James Clear said that 21 days kind of was like that game of telephone where you say something into a can, and then it travels down the string, and then the person at the end of that telephone doesn't quite hear right the same thing, and then it changes over time. Well, that's what happened with the 21 days. All of a sudden, people started talking about this 21 days to create habits, but what they left out was a very important word, which was minimum. The original doctor who wrote about that said it takes a minimum of 21 days to create a new habit. But all of a sudden, through marketing materials and programs, it's 21 days to create a new habit. Well, recently researchers have revisited and they actually did studies on habits themselves, right? So actual studies on habits and how long it was taking people to adopt new habits. And what they discovered is it actually takes a minimum of 66 days. 66 days to create a habit, and all the way up to 254 days. So on average, it was 66 days to create a new habit, but it could be all the way up to 250 days. So moral of the story is always, of course, take what you read with a grain of salt. But number two, patience. You have to be patient, particularly when you are adopting new habits that go with a healthy lifestyle, because those habits for most people aren't ones you want to adopt. No one wants to start eating broccoli more. No one wants to start running every day, right? It's uncomfortable. It gets in the way of your Netflix viewing. It makes you late for other things, or you have to schedule more carefully. So no one really likes adopting those habits. So if you think that in 21 days, you're going to all of a sudden be able to become a runner who runs every day, it's probably not going to happen. You have to really take a step back, take it down a notch, and realize that for some people, it could take up to 250 days, 8 months, around a little less than 8 months, to adopt a habit so that it becomes something that you do regularly. No one likes to hear that. I know. Good morning, people who are joining us. No one likes to hear that it actually might take 66 days or more to create a healthy habit, because we live in a society that wants instant gratification, right? We want that weight to come off right now. We want to be able to do those pull-ups right now. That's just not how the brain and the body work. So my big lesson and nugget for today is 21 days to create a habit is not accurate, right? So that may have started as an idea way back in the 50s. If you're just joining in, we talked about the history of where that idea came from, 21 days to create a habit. That it's actually going to take a lot longer. So strap yourself in. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Get ready for some hard work, uncomfortable times, and just realize that it's probably going to take a lot longer than what you were expecting. All right. So if you want to read more about it, I always recommend James Clear's Atomic Habits. I don't get paid by him. I'm not sponsored. I don't have a partnership. I just love that book. It gives you so many important, practical ways to adopt healthy habits. And then if you want to learn more about what I do and what we're doing at Driven, then there is a link in the description here to sign up for my email list. I send out a weekly email every week with more education, promotions, and events. We have our spring solstice celebration coming up. Woo! Spring is coming. Spring is coming on the 20th, 21st of March, around there. And if you are a current member, I posted in this week's email all the stuff going on for current members. If you're not a current member, then you can join us for free classes virtually or in studio all week long. So watch Facebook and definitely sign up for the email newsletter if you want to take advantage of that. And then we have 2 different hikes going on the 21st. Our first group events of 2021 in Nevada and then also in Southern California. So that's it. 66 days or more. You ready? Go out, make it a great day, think about your habits, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.